morning, Peter. The last time I think I spoke to you, we were talking about Nicola Bulley having gone missing, and we were all putting ourselves, weren't we, in the shoes of her family. When I saw this headline the other night, I went to sleep thinking about being in the shoes of those parents when you have teenagers that go out at night and you sleep with one eye open because you're not sure where they are, and then the worst possible news in the morning. Who do you hold responsible for the fact that these people were not found for such a long time?
Well, there's going to be inquiries because in due course the Independent Office of Police Conduct will look at both Gwent Police and South Wales Police and the roles that they played in this tragic incident. There are quite a lot of similarities, I believe, between this case and a case in Scotland in 2015 where a car crashed off the A9 near Falkirk and two people that were in that car, John Yule and Lamara Bell, were not discovered for 3 days and they both tragically died. In that case, the Chief Constable of Police Scotland had to resign over it. Lamara Bell's family were awarded £1 million in damages because she had 2 children, and there is a fatal accident inquiry pending which will give even more answers. There are some similarities, and it raises to me this whole, what I call template or tick box policing. I detest the word low level, the phrase low level. We hear about low level crime. That's just an excuse for the police to do nothing. We hear about low level, low risk missing persons. Well, to me, that's just another excuse not to deploy resources. I think they're too constrained. There's too much laying a template over things, and there's no latitude for that instinct and listening to families when they say, this is so out of character.
I'm glad you said that, Peter, because the mum of one of the youngsters kept calling the police saying, she's behaving out of character, she always comes home, she wouldn't be missing for 48 hours, 46 hours, and the police told her to stop calling. The mother's instinct, as usual, absolutely right.
That needs to be listened to. Why is all this sort of initiative and discretion being stripped out of policing? Is it because all the new recruits, which they're recruiting in many, many thousands, just don't have the experience, and all the experienced hands have fled for the back door as their pensions and pay got dismantled? Is that part of the problem? Are they now having to constrain officers with these templates, with this tick box thinking, in an effort, as they see it, to try and cover their own backs? But what they're fundamentally doing is not listening to people.
Yeah, but what is that about? Because you can't help but think, I mean, this sort of area in Wales, they'd come off the A48 in the, near the Welsh capital. When you look at the image, it is one of those spots, I imagine, where, you know, especially if you're a bunch of teenagers in a car for 3 o'clock in the morning and you're all, you know, a bit happy and someone's driving too fast, it would be easy to go off the road. Surely that would be one of the first places you would look for teenagers who've gone missing at that time of the night.
I'm sure that any police service policing a major city in the UK, like Cardiff and London and Manchester and Liverpool, are rushed off their feet entirely, going from one 999 call to the next. But that is actually not an excuse to not do the job. Chief constables, senior officers should be beating a path and really beating that drum and saying, look, we do not have the resources. This is the kind of thing that happens if it's shown down to be a lack of resources. However, if it's because people just ticked boxes, said low risk, looked the other way, then that, of course, will be shameful.